The women's 100 meters at the Zurich Diamond League became one of the defining sprint races of the season because it brought together everything that makes elite sprinting fascinating: pressure, returning stars, tactical execution, explosive starts, technical efficiency, and an Olympic champion proving once again why she currently controls the event. The race was not simply about who crossed the line first. It was about how the race unfolded phase by phase and how one athlete demonstrated complete command against a world-class field. From the moment the athletes walked onto the track, the atmosphere already felt different. Zurich has always produced fast sprinting conditions and high-level competition, but this final carried additional weight because the Diamond League title was at stake. Every athlete understood the importance of the race. For some, it was an opportunity to finish the season with momentum. For others, it was a chance to test themselves against the Olympic champion. For Julien Alfred, it was another opportunity to confirm that her Olympic success was not a temporary peak, but the beginning of sustained dominance. The field itself created enormous intrigue. Tia Clayton entered the race as one of the most dangerous starters in women's sprinting. Her acceleration phase is among the best in the world when healthy. Dinah Asher-Smith brought years of championship experience and technical discipline. Zoe Hobbs and Maya McCoy added depth and unpredictability. There were no easy lanes. Every athlete on the track possessed legitimate international level speed. Before the race even began, the tension escalated dramatically because of the false start involving Marie-Josée Talu-Smith. Her reaction time of 3.47 seconds immediately triggered the disqualification system. In modern sprinting, the margin between anticipation and illegal movement is microscopic. Athletes spend years training their reaction mechanics, attempting to maximize explosiveness without crossing the threshold. Talu-Smith has built her reputation around consistency and elite starts, which made the disqualification even more shocking. What made the moment especially dramatic was her visible frustration. She clearly believed another athlete had moved first or caused a disturbance beside her. These situations create enormous psychological disruption because once a false start occurs, the emotional balance of the race changes completely. Some athletes become tense, others lose focus. A few use the chaos to sharpen their concentration. Zurich instantly became more than a race of speed. It became a race of emotional control. When the field settled back into the blocks, all eyes naturally shifted toward Julien Alfred. Olympic champions carry a unique type of pressure because opponents approach the race differently against them. Every athlete wants to challenge the champion early. Nobody wants to allow the favorite to settle into rhythm. That reality became obvious as soon as the gun fired cleanly. Tia Clayton exploded from the blocks with tremendous force. Her first 20 meters were exceptional. The Jamaican sprinter generated immediate separation through her drive phase and showed exactly why many analysts consider her one of the most naturally explosive starters in the sport. Her shin angles were aggressive, her turnover frequency was sharp, and her projection from the blocks created instant momentum. For the opening meters, Clayton looked capable of controlling the race. In many sprint finals, an athlete with that type of acceleration can psychologically pressure the field into mistakes. But the difference between elite sprinters and dominant champions often appears during the transition phase. That is exactly where Julien Alfred separated herself from everybody else. Alfred's start was excellent without appearing desperate. That distinction matters. Some sprinters rely heavily on maximum aggression early in the race, but Alfred combines efficiency with relaxation. Her body position remained stable through the drive phase, and, most importantly, she avoided unnecessary tension in the shoulders and upper body. That technical smoothness allowed her to transition upright more effectively than the rest of the field. Around the 40-meter mark, the race began to change. This is the phase where top-end speed becomes critical, and where Alfred currently stands above nearly every woman in the world. Once she entered full sprint mechanics, her stride frequency and stride length synchronized perfectly. There was no visible strain in her movement. Her knees continued rising efficiently, while her ground contact remained incredibly quick. What separates Alfred from many elite sprinters is her ability to accelerate while appearing composed. Some athletes look powerful, but rigid at maximum velocity. Alfred looks fluid. That fluidity is not aesthetic alone. It reflects technical efficiency. Efficient mechanics reduce braking forces and preserve momentum. In Zurich, every stride after the transition phase looked controlled and repeatable. By approximately 60 to 70 meters, the outcome was becoming clear. Tia Clayton continued fighting and maintained impressive form, but Alfred's speed endurance created separation. That final portion of the race demonstrated why she has become so dangerous internationally. She is no longer simply a great starter or a naturally talented sprinter. She now possesses complete race structure. Her finishing time of 10.76 seconds under relatively cool conditions and with only a slight tailwind of 0.3 meters per second was highly significant. Context matters in sprinting. Times cannot be evaluated in isolation. Zurich conditions were not excessively fast. And Alfred was also returning from a period without racing because of a minor hamstring issue. Under those circumstances, producing a technically clean 10.76 becomes even more impressive. Tia Clayton's 10.84 for second place also deserves serious attention because it confirmed her ability to compete immediately after injury setbacks. The Jamaican sprinter showed no hesitation during the acceleration phase and looked increasingly comfortable throughout the race. Her performance suggested that, if healthy, she remains one of the most dangerous challengers in global sprinting. Dina Asher-Smith's 10.94 for third highlighted her experience and resilience. Although she did not possess Alfred's finishing speed or Clayton's explosive opening phase, she managed the race intelligently and maintained strong mechanics through the final meters. Veteran athletes often survive championship-level races through discipline and composure. And Asher-Smith once again demonstrated those qualities. What makes Alfred especially dangerous moving forward is her mentality after victory. Many athletes would treat a Diamond League title and a 10.76 performance as confirmation that everything is already working perfectly. Alfred approached the result differently. After the race, she discussed improving the connection between each sprint phase, the drive phase, transition, and maximum velocity mechanics. That mindset reveals the mentality of an athlete pursuing long-term dominance rather than isolated victories. Her comments also reflected a sophisticated understanding of sprinting. The women's 100 meters is often described casually as pure speed, but elite sprinting is deeply technical. The transitions between phases determine outcomes at the highest level. Small inefficiencies become magnified against world-class opponents. Alfred understands that maintaining synchronization through every segment of the race is what transforms excellent performances into historic consistency. Another important aspect of Zurich was the psychological message sent to the rest of the sprint world. Alfred entered the race after limited competition because of the hamstring concern. Athletes returning from minor injuries often race cautiously, especially in high-pressure finals. Instead, Alfred looked composed, aggressive, and technically sharp. There was no indication of hesitation in her mechanics.